So there's been a lot of cheating discourse on this page recently, okay? But typically, I've been trying to approach it from the lens of, hey, you get cheated on, someone cheats on you, like, hey, you'll be okay, you'll recover, everything will be fine. But now I feel like I kind of have to attack the discourse lens of it. And I did it a little bit in the whole Wizard Liz video, but so much more has developed since then. Like people, this situation, it might take a week to talk about. Now, mind you, I'm not going to make you know who Wizard Liz is for me to tell you this stuff. Basically, she's an internet personality. She does stuff like dating, like general self-help. She got cheated on. A lot of women looked up to her, saw her as she was very strict, like, oh, your boundaries are this, da 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 da. She got cheated on. If you know that, everything else truly doesn't matter, okay? But a little bit of self-promo, stream every day on Twitch, _Estelle, and my lives account, both will be in the description. But anyways, that's all you need to know about the Wizard Liz, okay? Now we can talk about how people are responding to the situation. Something I always say is women on the internet love when another woman gets cheated on. Like now, mind you, they're not like hip hip hooray. They're not cheering about it. They love that they're able to talk about it. They love that they're able to be like, oh man, these men, why are they doing this? Da, 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 da. There's so many narratives that get pushed, okay? And I want to address as many narratives as possible. Now, I've had people complaining in the comment sections that my videos have not been like super structured recently. For that, I say, I've never had any sort of structure. Also, there's a lot of stuff happening right now in my life that you don't know about, okay? So take it easy. But let's talk about some of these narratives. One of these narratives being, oh my gosh, why do men do this? Why are men cheaters? Why do men do this? Da, 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 da. Again, the notion that men are these horrible creatures that cheat, and you can't trust men because if she got cheated on, that means anybody can get cheated on. There's actually a couple things within there, okay? I'm going to take off the Chrome Hearts blue light glasses and put them on later for this take, okay? Basically, one, you can't tier women or anybody for that matter when it comes to getting cheated on. You can't say, oh wow, this person, they were like this and they got cheated on. What? It completely undermines the concept of, oh, well, cheaters, they're going to cheat. Like cheaters, they're bad people. They're going to go out, they're going to cheat on whoever. There's nothing you can do to stop them. Like literally, like these are the very same people who have those takes like, yep, a cheater's going to cheat and there's nothing you can do. Everything has to do with them, nothing to do with you. They make these takes and then they come on the internet and then they're like, what? How did this woman get cheated on? She's so pretty, which again, the whole looks thing is like, okay, if this was an ugly woman getting cheated on, it would be, oh, okay, I see. You know what I mean? Like, it makes sense. When that wouldn't be it. Would it actually? I mean, in their defense, it's very hard for an unattractive woman to become internet famous. Not impossible. We've seen it. I know we have, but very difficult. But again, it's like the notion of, oh my gosh, she's so pretty. How could she get cheated on? Bro, there's something on Twitter. There was a highlight reel. They're showing a bunch of women that, are perceived as attractive that got cheated on. And it's like, bro, like, that's not the move. I feel like it makes a woman like in her day-to-day who got cheated on, who doesn't look like these women and knows that she doesn't look like these women or look as good as these women, which again is completely okay. I'm not doing the whole I hate ugly people bit right now, and which, by the way, it's not a bit. Like I do have okay, there's a difference between not being attractive and being ugly. Okay, I'll say that and then I'll move. The point is, a woman gets cheated on. She knows she doesn't look as good as these women, like in her heart of hearts. She's like, what am I, chopped liver? Like, am I just the type of person to get cheated on? Again, now she's gonna feel very insecure. She's gonna be scared of getting into these relationships. And the thing is, that's another narrative. Okay, there's one narrative I missed. I promise I'll get back to it. But there's another narrative, bro, where it's like, oh, now that she got cheated on, I feel like I can't trust anybody. I can't like go into one person getting cheated on, right? Should not, when you're an adult, when you're a grown person, I understand if you're like a teenager and you don't really know how the world works yet, like you're like 15, you're like, oh my gosh, people cheat on people? Now I may have to hold back my trust. The things I remember, I had that moment, okay? I was in high school. I looked up to Will Smith my entire life. I modeled who I was as a human being after Will Smith. I watched Will Smith movies. I was like, oh, I'm gonna be like that character. Blah, blah, blah. I wanted to be Will Smith, right? And I was like, oh, he has a wife and kids. Like, I'm so happy for him. Like, da, da, da. Like, literally, like, crazy parasocial relationship. But, that's much more reasonable when you are like a literal, at least a minor. Again, like, I'm like a kid. And then the Red Table Talk stuff comes out. And then I'm like, oh. Literally completely shattered my view of relationships, because in my mind I'm like, oh, like, like, now mind you, they had their agreement, but in the narrative at the time it was like, okay, he had been cheated on, right? I remember in my mind I was like, okay, if someone gets cheated on, you can kind of always like tell, like, if someone's about to cheat on somebody. Like, it's very obvious, stuff like that. Like, the concept of people, dating someone and then being blindsided by it, that was new to me, okay? And when I was a teenager, I'm like, okay, this is like some shit that happens, all right? And sometimes people don't realize that till like, their first heartbreak. And oh my gosh, but the thing is, high school cheating, like, I'm sorry for the people who want more structured videos, but bro, high school cheating was just, you couldn't cheat in high school because everyone was cheating in high school. It was too easy. Look, I don't know how your high schools were. The problem for us was we all knew each other. Now, mind you, I went to a big high school. For Michigan, I had a big high school. I don't know how many was in the graduating class, but like thousands of people in the school, right? At least. like we were familiar with each other. So it's like, if I'm talking to Shorty and then she ends up talking to bro, I'm gonna find out that she's talking to bro. And the thing is, we all like, I'm not gonna say we, a lot of people like would do shit like that. Like having a roster in high school was literally impossible because everyone knew each other. Everyone would know what I was doing. Like literally, like we had this big like foyer. It's like a big like lobby, right? And after all the classes, we'd all go there. We like literally hundreds of kids in the foyer, right? That's what we call it, the foyer. Foyer. I don't know. I'm not French or whatever. Basically, we get out of classes, go to the foyer. We can all see each other in the foyer. So it's like I'm talking to this girl from in my third class, right? And I'm like, oh yeah, da da da. Everyone sees, they're like, oh yeah, like he's like into this girl, they're kind of into each other talking. But then I go to the foyer, I'm talking to a different woman. Like everyone's like witnessing thing possible. Like literally, and I've seen people say this before. Like high school was just like social media. But like social media now is like high school actually what people say. So it's like instead of just like DMing, like in high school, it was like as if I'm like tweeting that I'm spitting game at this woman, because everyone would know. Everyone knew, like even if you're like, oh no, it's not like that, not that. People knew who had a crush on who liked who, unless you're fucking stupid, which some people were. But like, you know what I mean. But the thing is, nobody. Bro, nobody in high school literally just wanted one person. Dude, oh, I gotta tell you something, bro. I'm not gonna lie. This is, again, I'm taking the glasses off for this. This is like very serious. I remember I used to talk to this girl, right, in high school, right? People have been wanting more high school stories. I don't know why. But anyways, talked to this girl in high school, right? She was basically the best friend of the girl that I dated before her. Was there overlap? Okay, see, this is the kind of situation I'm talking about. Basically, I broke up with the first girl, okay, but I left the rope out there because I was like, hey, man, like, we might be able to get back together. I don't know. So I kept that out there. I tend to do that, right? So I kept the rope out there. And then as I was keeping the rope out there, me and her best friend started talking. Like, I think I've told, like, the big story before. But, like, basically, the way me and her best friend is me and her were having a fight. And then her friend came to me like, hey, are you okay? Like, she really cares about you, da, 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 da. And when she reached out to me, I started talking to her, and then we got involved, right? So yeah, that's not like cheating or anything, but like, because again, I'm not a cheater, guys. But like, you see what I mean? But it's like you're in such close quarters to everybody. It's literally so hard for everyone to like be devoted, especially like because there's no sense of progression. It's like you're either dating or you're not. Like there's no talking stage. There's no we're seeing how things go. High school shit, right? But basically, anyways, I'm talking to this young lady, and me and her talked for a bit. Me and her kind of talked on and off, me and the best friend. But then the best friend told me, and whatever, I don't know, because people are like, oh, you shouldn't say these things. But this is a long time ago. She's definitely not watching this video right now. She told me that, a certain man essayed her, right? Not man, like certain boy, like in the school, which does not make it excusable by any mean, but like she was essayed. I'm just saying it wasn't by a teacher. She was essayed. And I'm like, this is horrible. Like, you know what? You want me to go fight the guy? Like, what do you need me to do right now? I'll comfort you. She's like, nah, don't fight him. But anyways, and mind you, the guy was like a dude I knew. Like, me and him were like kind of friends. So I'm like, dang, like, bro's not a friend anymore. Like, this is horrible. Like, to find out, like, I wasn't mad. I wasn't never putting any blame on her or anything like that. I was like, bro, this is horrible. But then I found out they're like linking up and hanging out. Now mind you, apparently not like that, right? But I'm like, you're going to tell me that this man essayed you, right? Horrible. Yep. Don't tell anybody. I'm super like, I just don't want to talk about it. Blah, 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 blah. But it's like, and you're going to hang out with bro while we're talking, bro. Again, like that's high school shit that like was just unavoidable. Like situations like that would just happen. But again, I thought that was so weird because I'm like, okay, like it's one thing, he essayed you. Maybe you have class together. You don't want to talk about it. I think that's perfectly fine. Like you don't have to talk about what you don't want to talk about, right? But my problem is, you're like, okay, he essayed me. Don't want to talk about it. Don't want to do anything. And you're linking up with him? Like they're hanging out talking about anime or whatever? Bro, I'm not gonna lie, me not talking about anime, well, I tell you, that's probably cost me so many hoes. On a very serious note. Like growing up, everyone said anime was for nerds, and then all of a sudden it became cool out of nowhere, bro. Dude, that shit really ruined my life. Not ruined it, but you know what I mean? Like there's so many times, like I remember I used to be talking to like women that they'd be, attractive women, and then they'd be like, are you into anime? Like they'd have that little weird side. Like a lot of y'all would be fiending for these women. I'm like, I don't really watch anime. And then, we stop talking, things don't really work out. They get with some dude who watches anime. I'm like, oh my God, man. But anyways, more importantly, again, the story, she got essayed by that guy and then kept voluntarily linking up with him when we were together. I feel like, look, again, I'm not one to victim blame or anything, but I think that's not appropriate. Like, I think it's an okay boundary for me to have. It's like, hey man, if we're talking, I don't want you to be around the man who assaulted you. You know what I'm saying? You aren't tripping for that. But anyways, my point is you learn those kinds of lessons where it's like, oh, people want to do people shiesty, in a situation like high school, right? But then again, like we're in high school, no one's really taking it seriously. Like that's why I hate when people like talk about like, oh yeah, like someone got their heart broken when they were like 15 and never recovered, or like accuse me of that. Because the thing is, my high school, no one was taking that shit seriously, bro. Like no one was really upset about anything. Like people would be like, damn. Like people would be like, my hoe's going? Ah, dang. And then they would just go talk to someone else. Like people very much like would recover within months from anything that happened to them romantically at my high school. But anyways, I'm basically saying it's like once you get past that point and you get into the real world, it's like then like yeah, maybe you're like 18, 19, you're like, oh, okay. Like this shit can get serious. There are some people I can't trust. I gotta be like hesitant, I might get hurt if I put myself out there. That time I didn't even think I paused. I literally, I literally didn't press pause. But you know what I mean? But there are some women who are 25, 30. These are just random ages, right? 25, in your 20s, right? Being like, oh, this random woman got cheated on? Now I'm looking at my boyfriend crazy. Men posted, they're like, bro, my girl broke up with me because everything that happened with Wizard Liz. Because someone else got cheated on. That's ridiculous. And again, this goes, when I tell you, bro, the average person is not smart. This is what I'm talking about. These kinds of situations. And the thing is, people can say whatever they want about me. They can say, ooh, he bad take. Oh, no empathy. Ooh, narcissist. Ooh, sociopath. But they can say all that, bro. But I'm not fucking stupid. Because this right here, like what they're doing, this is stupid shit. And it's like, I truly don't know what it is, okay? I don't know if, they were looking for a reason to like mistrust this entire time. Like they were looking for a reason to be like, oh man, I can't trust my man. Oh, I'm going to leave him because of this, something like that. Or if genuinely this random woman getting cheated on shell-shocked them. And again, I'm telling you, I got like the whole Will Smith thing. Again, my parasocial relationship, I was like, oh man. But if I was dating someone at the time, I'm not going to break up with someone over what Jada Pinkett Smith did. But then, okay, the first point that I forgot to get to earlier, or I just kind of like skated past because there was more to say, is, oh my gosh, I can't believe men are like this. Bro, women cheat too. I'm telling you this right now. Women cheating is far more scary. And look, I don't care about that. I could not give less of a fuck about the fact that he cheated on her while she was pregnant. I care about the fact that he cheated. I think it's bad. I think we should condemn him. I feel bad for her that she got cheated on, right? I feel like that's horrible she got cheated on. But the whole, but she was pregnant though. Oh, men cheating on pregnant women? Oh, like, I don't buy the fact that that's worse than regular cheating, to be real. Because, and I'm going to explain it to you right here. I wasn't going to explain, but let me explain. I think if you enter a monogamous union with someone, and you tell them like that, hey, I will be monogamous with you, and you betray their trust at any point, it is equally as horrible. Okay. So it's not even me saying that cheating on a pregnant woman isn't that bad. It's me saying that for some people are saying that he should go to hell, the deepest depths of hell for it. I think that's a bit much, but it's not me saying that cheating on a pregnant woman isn't bad. It's me saying that the others are that bad. They're on the same level, right? Like the thing is, I don't care if you go out and there's one person, you're like, hey, let's enter a monogamous union today, and you cheat the next day, and they find out the next day. I feel like that's just as bad as cheating as 10 years, because again, you made a promise to that person. That this person trusted you that they could be in a monogamous union. Nobody enters a relationship thinking that they're going to be cheated on, so there's no time frame, there's no specific situation. I feel like cheating is just that bad all around. So it's like the notion of, oh my gosh, I can't believe men cheat on pregnant. I don't think that's any worse than pregnant woman cheating on a man cheating on a woman not pregnant, woman cheating on a man not pregnant herself. So just to get that out the way, okay? Because a lot of people are mad about that take I've been making on other platforms. They're mad about it. Again, women cheating is a far scarier thing than men cheating. And look, scarier doesn't mean worse, okay? A lot of people are gonna be like, oh, double standard. No, there's no double standard. It's equally as bad if either person cheats on either person. But the concept of women cheating is scarier, not even due to the cheater's fault. It's the fact that there are more men that will keep that secret, okay? And I can be a testament to that. Again, I'm anti-cheating. I don't approve of it. However, it's also not my job to referee someone else's relationship. So if I'm, getting involved with someone, they have a partner, they're cheating on their partner, it's none of my business, okay? I control what I can control. I control my relationship with the person, not their relationship with whomever. And I know a lot of men have that mindset, and a lot of men also have the mindset of they don't want to tell the man because they're afraid they're going to get their ass beat. Now, that's not what I'd be thinking about, but however, that's definitely a thing that could happen to me. So this means, like this thing being a thing, means that when, why do men cheat? For one, there are plenty of women, there's stories about like women cheating on, and this is not me doing whataboutism. I'm getting to my point. There were stories about women cheating, right? and men are like, oh, she cheated on me, this is how I found out, blah 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 blah. I'm telling you, for every situation where that man found out that that girl was cheating on him, there's a woman who completely got away with it, completely, because of someone's willingness to keep it pee, right? Or even think about situations where it's like, oh, like I've met women where they're like doing stuff with their friends doesn't count. Like, you know, like there'll be like two women and like they're like, okay, like if I eat her out though, like that doesn't count as cheating because it's with a woman anyways. Like they're seriously like that's the logic for some, not all. I'm not even gonna say most. So it's like to all those women out there scared of getting cheated on. Imagine how scared you'd be if there were no girls. There aren't men's. I mean, there are men's men, but like there's no hey kingy, hey boy. You're not getting a hey boy text most of the time. You can't be like, oh man, maybe I'll get the hey girly text. Like y'all hate the hey, bro. y'all like, oh, I hate the hey girly text. Y'all be mad at the girl for the hey girly text. But God forbid she didn't do that shit. Like that concept of the fact where it's like, if you get cheated on, nobody cares. You know what I mean? And this is not me saying like, oh, people don't care when men get cheated. Like obviously when people get most people, because again, there are situations with this whole wizard list thing where people are like rejoicing that she got cheated on. Same way there are some women that would rejoice if a certain man got cheated on. But I'm saying most normal, well-adjusted people are going to feel bad if you got cheated on, right? But what I'm saying is there is no norm for telling the man when the woman's cheating. I've met women who have been so against cheating, like they would never be the other woman, anything like that. But they're like, hey, but if one of my friends cheated on their man, not telling them, bro. But you know. If you've ever had male friends as a man, you know there are niggas who the first thing they're going to do is tell shorty. I mean, one time, bro, oh my God, dude. I remember one time, bro, this wasn't even me. There was this dude, he's at the function. His girl was at the function, and then he started talking to a girl in a different room. This dude ran to the other room to tell his girl, oh my gosh, bro, dude, so-and-so's talking to bro. Like crazy work. Like you don't see that oftentimes. Because again, that women's union, sometimes, not all the time, sometimes it does include things like cheating. So it's much scarier. So I don't want to hear, oh, why do men cheat? Why do men cheat? I think men and women probably cheat somewhere around the same amount. Because I feel like men and women, character-wise, they're the same. Right. I don't think character-wise, men and women are like either above or below each other. I think we're all human beings, right? We're all the same species. So there's equality in people that will find it in them to do these bad things. Okay. However, the ways of finding out is very much leaning towards one's favor. So it's like a lot of times we find out about these men. So it's very irritating for me to see the notion of, oh my gosh, look at these men, they do this. These men, they do this. I guarantee half those women know a woman who's cheated. Also, something that happens, bro, is I don't want to say personification, but glorifying of the person who got cheated on, if that makes sense. I'm going to explain it in a second. This is what I mean. Let me get little on you real quick. This is what I mean. And I'm going to have some, it's going to seem like dodgy at first, but like, you'll see what I mean once I get after. Okay. This says, and then she got some crazy hard to pronounce last name. But anyways, she said dated affluent individuals in Dubai back. Oh, wait, what? Sorry. Broke up with each of them after getting enough money. Later, she started YouTube. Okay, this person's just making a lot of typos. After getting enough fans on TikTok, she then uploaded a video how to get rich by dating rich guys, which was then deleted in 24 hours because of backlash. After that, she started making videos about motivation, self-love, confidence, and personal development. She's not a victim. You reap what you sow. Stop this gender war, you internet nerds. Now, mind you, I don't think she deserves to be cheated on. That's not at all the point I'm trying to make. My thing is, though, I very vividly recall her content, seeing it come across the For You page when it was in passing, before I did any sort of like deep dives, being like, hey, use men for their money. Don't date broke men, blah, blah, blah. Now, mind you, I understand that there's no, like, this is not proof of the how to get rich by dating rich guys video. However, given the content that I've seen of her, I believe that that's a thing. And actually, let me take that back. Since, I'm not seeing it, I can't rule it as a reality, but I'm like, would we put it past them? You know what I'm saying? Because my thing is, again, okay, I've seen, oh, yep, I actually used my card, so I had my husband send me the money. Oh, don't date broke guys, ask men for money, like do that, da, da, da. I've seen those videos, okay, firsthand with my eyes, recently too. And I recall seeing more videos that were a bit more abrasive of the sort. So it makes sense how to get rich by dating rich guys, because again, a lot of it, it's a lot of women creators oftentimes go into the anti-men space. So it makes sense. Like I'm trying to think of a random story I can come up with that would make sense like with my content. Okay, say someone falsely accuses me of being pro-cheating, right? With, the content I've made where it's like, hey, I'm talking to multiple people at the same time, even if I'm not dating the monogamous, it's like, hey, I'm talking to this girl. Oh, no, I'm talking to this other girl. If someone falsely accuses me of like, oh, you made videos about cheating on women, I can say, hey, that's wrong. but I don't think I can get mad at them for that allegation because it kind of seems like a pathway that someone could see if they aren't educated in my content. Now, mind you, I'm very much not on board usually with like giving leeway to people who aren't educating themselves, but it's like when something's on the pathway, how much can I believe this thing? You know what I mean? Like, imagine something new comes out, Diddy's facing allegations. Imagine like something comes out about Diddy, like, oh man, like he I don't want to get graphic with you, but just like some other like, bedroom athletics act that he did in the midst of it. You kind of throw that in there, okay, when it's on the same level of other things that have been, proven or that, you believe. Again, if someone were to make a video about me and they're like, oh, yep, you're like, you cheat on everybody, like that's your thing. And I'm like, okay, you're wrong. You're wrong. You're not educated in my content. But the fact that I see where you're getting that from based off videos that I've made, okay? Because sometimes I wouldn't make it clear that that like I wasn't exclusive with these people. But now, and this actually has happened, someone told me that I made videos about essaying women, like sexually assaulting people. And that's something where it's like, okay, no, because it's not even on the level of anything that you could ever even prove. And I'm not talking about the essay itself. I mean, the fact that like I made anything of the sort like that, because obviously I wouldn't like, and also when you're accusing someone of like a crime and you're just at the level of, hey, I don't like this person, they say they mean like that's not okay. And I think we all know that. But my point is, when it's like, okay, what video are you talking about? You can't even find it, and you can't find any other video where I would ever allude to anything like, oh, essay is good or saying anything like that, then that's when you're tweaking. But the fact that, again, now back to her, the fact that like I've seen videos of her, like factually, I know I've seen videos, I knew they were her, she's a very distinct person talking about, oh, if your man's not giving you money, blah, 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 if he's not doing this, he's not doing that, da, 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 ask men for money, blah, 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 literally, again, days ago, seeing posts, ask men for money, and internalizing my own thoughts about how I feel about people who ask men for money, which is basically they don't actually like the person that they're dating that much, so they ask for money. So if/when the relationship ends, they come away with, a little bit up monetarily than they would be if they were single the entire time. It makes me believe something like this, right? And that's kind of just a little thing, okay? Say she didn't even make this video, okay? Say she just made the videos that we can't prove, the videos that I did see, that I'm like, okay, yep, take money from men, oh, yep, always ask them for money, blah, 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 blah. She's not a perfect person. You know what I mean? But now it's like people see something like this and completely ignore it. They're like, oh, like this is some sweet innocent angel, and it's not. Now, mind you, her not being a sweet innocent angel doesn't mean she deserves to be cheated on, but it just means you don't have to sit here and act like this person had a completely like, spotless digital footprint. And again, I say this as someone with a horrible digital footprint, some would say. Now, me personally, I like it. I like my digital footprint. But it's like, if something comes out about something happening to me, people can't, people wouldn't because people hate me. But like, people can't be like, oh man, like he was such a good guy, like, and someone brings up, manipulation. Oh yeah, say, for example, I get manipulated, cheated on, something like that, right? And everyone's basically throwing this pity party for, which again, they would not, but people are throwing this pity party. And then they're like, oh, well, isn't that the guy who did manipulation tactics? Oh, didn't he tell those stories about like talking to like multiple women? Didn't he like break all those hearts? Isn't it that guy? You can't downplay the things that I did just because what happened to me recently, okay? Especially when I haven't made amends. Like, it would be one thing if she like did something like this. She was like, okay, like, I've seen the error in my ways, blah, 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 blah. But mind you, again, people like the whole, get rich. Let me get big on you. The people with the whole like, oh yeah, like men should give me money thing, they don't think that's like an error. So it's kind of like just whatever for them. But like, unless I came to the internet and I was like, hey man, those manipulation tactics videos, never should have made them. I'm so sorry. Like, it was so wrong of me. I hope I can make it right. Like, I want to get on the right side of history, which I would never do, by the way. I'll get that in a second. But it's like, unless I did something like that, that you can't just ignore, oh, well, didn't he do this back then? Because it's like, yeah, I damn sure did. Like, if something like that were to happen to me, or in some sort of talking stage get crushed, I can't come on and play victim. How could this happen to me? I'm such a good guy. I am a good guy, though. But like, oh my gosh, I'm such a good guy. Like, how could someone do this to me when, I have the track record that I have? It's not just digital footprint, it's real life, bro. Broken hearts. There are people who cry to this day about me. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Due to situations where I just did something wrong, and it wasn't, now obviously most of the time I can defend it, but I know overall there's definitely been wrong things that I've done. So it's like, if something lines up, now mind you, again, I'm not a cheater, but it's like, if something like happens to me where it like kind of like lines up, like, oh man, he did all this. So, hey man, I guess this happened to him, where people karma's not real, but people can say it's, karma or whatever. We can't sit here and act like I'm perfect. Now, mind you, if I get shot, if I get shot and die, I would hope people would let go of some of the manipulation tactics. I hope they would be like, okay, maybe he doesn't deserve to get shot, but I know they wouldn't do all that. Just like, bro, like if she got SA'd, like God forbid, I pray most normal people would be like, oh, well, she had it coming, because like, yeah, no. But again, like I always tell you guys, this dating stuff isn't as big of a deal as people think it is. Like, yes, she got cheated on, yes, like she was pregnant, blah blah blah. But like there are worse things that could happen. Like there's like physical harm, more emotional harm than cheating, like way more. But again, people. It's just if people want to act like, this is the end all be all, that this is just everybody's life. And not gonna lie, the worst thing to me still is the notion that he planned it from the very beginning. Because again, I think I mentioned it in the video. Why would he plan? I'm looking for my phone right now, by the way. But like, why would he plan it from the beginning? Because the amount of hate he's getting. Because they're saying, okay, he's a calculated man. Like he knew all this would happen. Da 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 da. If he was a calculated man, and calculated man worth a brain, which again, I'm calculated. I've had long revenge plots on people that some of you know about. I made videos about it. If he could think well enough to plan out, yep, I'm going to get into this woman's life, however way I'm going to do it. I'm going to propose. I'm going to, go to marry her. I'm going to give her $100,000 ring. I'm going to get her pregnant. And then I'm going to cheat on her to make her sad, to embarrass her in front of oh yeah, I'm going to cheat on her. No, wait, I'm not even going to cheat on her yet. She's going to find out that I was planning to. And then, boom, I'm going to embarrass her publicly. But then I'm going to get back on and apologize and take accountability for my actions and be like, oh, it's so horrible, I shouldn't have done this, da, 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 da. You're telling me if he was smart enough to plan all that out, would he not think about the fact that the Wizard Liz has millions of followers who will super dox him? I promise you he's getting super doxed right now. I promise you they know where he lives. I promise you they know where his mom lives, his sister lives. Super doxed. Like I'm genuinely like worried for him. But you see what I mean? Like that's why that upsets me the most, because I'm like clearly that's like it just doesn't even make sense. It's just far-fetched. You know what I mean? And then people are like, oh well, men do that. Look, am I saying it's impossible? No, not impossible. But I'm saying it's much more likely. Again, he liked her, loved her, but then he was like, wait, this shawty bad. I want something on the side. Like telling me that whole plot, that whole scheme, again, it takes like 30 seconds to describe what you're saying that he's doing. That whole scheme is more realistic than man couldn't control his lust in a relationship. You know what I mean? And I know I probably said some of this last video, but it's so crazy to me that this is the narrative people are going with. So it's like now this is the narrative that they're pushing, and now they're going throughout life with not because again, they're already applying this to their own life. They're already breaking up with their boyfriends, being mad at their boyfriends over it. And now they're pushing this narrative that can't be proven, by the way, and that is very unlikely, and that is objectively less of a reasonable assumption than the other option I gave you, which is just he couldn't control his lust. And they're moving throughout life like this. You know what I mean? Because again, and I talk about, someone came to my stream the other day, we started talking about femcells. Look, the problem with femcells is that they aren't femcells. I'm really getting into the flow of this right now. They aren't femcells. They're not incels. Incels, men who can't get any vagina. Okay, they can't wet their willy. Okay, they can't get in there. They can't take them to Pound Town. That's what they can't do that. So their mindset is skewed because of that, right? These are real women who go outside, who have relations. They get some penis in them. Some of them. Like, that's the problem. That's why that we can look at incels. We can look at men where we're like, okay, you're incels, you're ostracized from society, you're like that, right? We can look at that, right? Now, obviously, there's some men who go out who do believe that like red pill nonsense, that fucking pure baloney, that malarkey that is the red pill community. But femcells are real. Most of them are real. These are women you could run into in the street. You could meet her at a bar, and you could take a random woman off the street, okay, who knows who Wizard Liz is, obviously, right? And ask her, hey, what do you think about the guy? Like, what do you think his thing was? And some of them would tell you, yeah, I think he was planning it from the very beginning. I think he had this planned out years in advance. And he did this all on purpose, including getting himself super doxxed. And the thing is, and that's why people don't understand, like, I'm starting accounts because, I have multiple accounts. Like one of them, it's like a gender war account. People are like, oh, like you always like say these things, Look, there's value in saying what people don't know or most people don't know or aren't all the way there yet, there's no value in saying what everybody knows or what everyone has agreed to. As a society, on the internet, we have agreed red pillars, dumb, stupid. Okay, these are dumb. These are idiotic takes. You know, again, like the pillars for the moon. Look at what happened to Andrew Tate right now. He's literally arrested. He's going to spend time in prison. It looks like. I mean, like the things that they preach. Like obviously he was playing more of a character, but it's like the things that were preached, horrible. Red pill. We agree it's horrible, right? These things that some women are saying, it's not naturally agreed upon. Like again, like people kept coming to my videos. They're like, oh my gosh, but you're not saying anything about him cheating though. Like what? Cheating's bad. Do I have to tell you that? Or is that something that everyone already knows? You know what I mean? If I say cheating's bad and people who cheat are bad, what value does that provide you? Right? And I guess this is some like content advice for people who want to be content creators. And this is not me saying I'm reinventing the wheel. This is not me saying I'm inventing something that like, I'm not saying no one ever talks about the things that I talk about. But what I do say is it's universally agreed for the most part that cheating is bad, right? Most people would be like, it's bad that he cheated on her. It's bad to not be faithful to your partner. Can we universally agree that men shouldn't be providers? That all men shouldn't be expected to be providers? Can we agree on that? Can we agree that, you know, asking a man for money before you even go on a date with him is crazy? Can we? Because again, I look at the internet, I see these posts. It seems like a lot of people don't think these things are crazy. Can we agree that in relationships we should all take accountability? Can we agree that in relationships it doesn't matter who likes who more, boy liking girl, girl liking boy more for it to work? Can we, do we agree that doesn't matter? Can we agree that saying you want a man who's patient with you simply so you can throw tantrums is like, it makes it clear you're the problem? Like saying, I literally saw a post where they're like, the man should always be more patient so the woman can like throw a tantrum whenever she wants. And things, it sounds like I'm paraphrasing very unfaithfully. I promise you that was literally what they said. Like, oh, like I just want to be irrational. Like I want to be like, they're like, just they need to let us be irrational. Let's be girls, you know, which is misogynistic, by the way. But it's like, can we agree that that's fucked up, that's weird? Apparently to the internet, we can't. So it's like when people get upset with me, and I'm making it about me, okay? I don't care. When people get upset with me, oh, what? But you didn't say cheating is bad. What's the fucking point? You have 3,000 people on your For You page telling you fucking cheating is bad, you idiot. What we need to have, or not even need to have, but what's more interesting to have is these other conversations. Like when I'm like, I wonder what the fan base, I wonder how they're going to respond to this. That was my first thing. I was like, I wonder what they're going to do. I wonder how they're going to respond to this. Obviously, responded poorly. People literally are afraid of providing anything new or worthwhile to the conversation. I'll never forget it when I got into that shit a while back. I posted a YouTube video about it. Basically, someone was asking, it was these messages, and there was a bunch of context around it, but basically it was messages. It was an adult asking a child if they wanted head, right? And then the child was like, oh, nope, I don't want that, da 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 da. Everyone was like, this man is horrible. He should be in jail. Everyone agreed. And I remember I was like, it's sad that she even knew what head was. Because again, I'm like, the fact that she didn't have the innocence to know what something like head was. I wasn't blaming her. I wasn't like, oh, well, how'd she, like, I wasn't questioning it at all. I'm just saying that's bad that like her innocence wasn't preserved. Because she was a child, very young child. And people were like, that's the first thing you thought of? That's the first thing you thought of? Nigga. Hundreds of people in the comment section. That's horrible. That's horrible. He should be in jail. He should be in jail. Provide something fucking new to the conversation. And again, content creator tip, bring something new to the conversation. Look, people can say all I want. They're like, oh, your content pops off because, good looking guy, you talk well, charismatic. Okay, thank you very much, right? And I think that is a factor. But I'm telling you right now, if I wasn't saying anything new, and again, I don't mean I'm inventing anything. I don't mean it's a new thing. If I wasn't bringing new things to particular conversations, okay, talking about certain things in different ways, sometimes ways that like we just at least on large platforms aren't really talked about, I wouldn't be what I am right now as a creator. You know what I'm saying? So it's like things like this happen, and all our fans wants to sit in a fucking circle and chant, cheaters are bad, cheaters are bad, cheaters are bad, cheaters are bad, when we all know that there's more to talk about. There's more to have conversations about, especially now. You look at the reaction, and it's crazy because they're like, oh my gosh, like, can we just like react? Can we just like do this? Da, da, da. Look, Now, I'm saying there's nothing wrong with contributing nothing to the conversation. There are some conversations you don't need to contribute anything to. If you post whatever, ooh, cheaters are bad, boom, completely fine. That's completely fine, right? The problem is trying to force other people to also contribute nothing to the conversation. Being mad when people do contribute stuff. Because again, like the first thing I said, I was like, I wonder, yeah, like, how her fans gonna react. Because like she had her whole thing, like she's like, oh, this is how I am in relationships, blah 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 blah. And they're like, oh, well, she got cheated on, and you're just talking about her behavior, blah blah blah. There are other things to say. There are other things to talk about. You know what I mean? Because I'm sure there's multiple factors to her getting cheated on. And I'm not saying her behavior led to her getting cheated on. It's something else that like people think I'm saying, but I'm not. In so few words, I'm literally just saying, I wonder what was up with that. A lot of y'all don't be asking what was up with that, okay? In general. And the thing is, this is how these shitty conversations start, okay? Basically, again, like there was one person, right, who was like, you know what? I think he planned this from the beginning for some reason. They saw it, they liked it, they liked that they saw it, boom. They're building up. Like imagine, like you remember you used to play with Play-Doh as a kid? You put Play-Doh together, right? You're putting more pieces of Play-Doh. Now it's a giant boulder and it's rolling, okay? And it's a bunch of people just saying the same shit. They like what they heard. Again, there'll be a bunch of shit on social media, bro, where they'll see someone tweet, bro. Instead of retweeting the tweet, they'll just tweet the same tweet like a month later. They saw a tweet, they posted on TikTok. And they don't even say, hey, man, I'm not talking about people stealing content, but they're not even like, hey, man, I saw this tweet. They say it like it's an original thought. People don't like having original thoughts anymore. And they get very upset at the people who do. There are people who don't think for themselves. Bro, there are people that I've met in real life who, if it's not a TikTok trend, a Twitter trend, like a popular new lingo, new phrase to say, they don't say it. They have nothing to say. True, like I truly used to speak to someone who they exclusively spoke in TikTok trends, in side eye, like even ones that aren't even popular anymore, bro. Like you ate that, like no original sentence coming from you. Okay, people see sentences, right? They see sentences that they like, and they're like, I wish I came up with that. So instead of being like, let me think of some shit myself, they do that again. They're just like, okay, I'm just going to do this exact sentence. Now, mind you, you can agree. You can agree with something again, but people don't want to add to conversations anymore. So it puts people in like this little box. Because again, they're like, oh, he plotted this from the very beginning, and I'm like, why would he do that? And they're like, I don't know. You're like, okay, she got cheated on. He planned this from the beginning. You don't want to think about why. You don't want to think about how he would even do something like that. Oh, I thought I paused. Oh my God. But like, you don't want to think about like what that would imply. Like again, like you don't want to poke holes in the thought. Like you'll even see me in my own videos. Like I'll be talking myself through something to make sure I actually believe that, or it's actually an okay thing to say. And sometimes I'll be like, you know what? Actually, no, I'm saying this. No, never mind. Forget that. People love originality and they're so afraid of it at the same time. Again, like when people are super original, bro, people gravitate towards those people. You know, not to suck my own dick, but like, like when people are original, people legitimately love it. You know what I mean? Now, I'm not a likable person, so it's different in different sense. But when there's like some comedian, some influencer, it's like, oh my gosh. Like it's when someone says some new shit, we all like it. Like I like it too. Like I love some new shit, bro. There's nothing like some new shit being said that you haven't heard before. Everyone likes that. But you know what everyone doesn't like? Being original themselves. Like coming to their own shit. And it's like people ask me all the time. They're like, bro, like how do you think like when I like stitch video stuff? They're like, bro, how do you think like that? Like how can you talk like that? How do you do it? I just think. I think. Period. And the thing is, a lot of people, I know some of you watching don't have this problem. Okay, but I know some of you watching do have this problem. Okay, so identify with who you want to identify with. But I know for a fact some of you are like these people I'm subscribing. Describing. Oh my God. Oh, subscribing. But anyways, I'm so sorry. You're like these people that I'm describing, right? You see something, you're like, ooh, I like that. You're not adding anything to it. You're reheating it, bro. You're reheating nachos. Some of you may have even reheated my nachos, which I'm okay with you doing because it spreads my influence. But do you see how long term, and when it comes to pronged issues like cheating on a pregnant woman, like the concept of planning cheating, you understand like how that sets these conversations back. And because again, the situation like the girl who was getting groomed by that adult, right? people, they're stopping themselves. People collectively are stopping themselves from having conversations, effective conversations, important conversations, some would say, because everyone wants to sit there and be like, oh, well, this is bad. People talk about how for elections, we never have any good options. We never have it. Oh, man, we always got to pick the lesser of two evils. Are we talking about how we get to that point? We have 4 years to prepare every fucking time, and somehow it's always, oh man, they're all just bad. And it's like the people who are saying that, are you sifting through like what politicians are saying now? Like certain ones who are like, oh, yep, like I'm gonna run in 2028. Like, like be ready. Do you know who's running in 2028? Now, mind you, look, I don't care. I'm not a political guy. Like I want to say I legitimately do not give a fuck. But I'm also not gonna complain, oh my gosh, we just got the worst of two options. These people, again, they want to focus on the one thing. These people, they care about the presidential election, right? So when it's time for election time, they're gonna be like, oh, bro, these are these shitty options. But they never want to have conversations about, for one, again, how you get to that point. But two, if you're willing to have conversation, if you're willing to people aren't willing to expand where their mind is. If you're willing to expand where your mind is, you would think, we get into this shitty place. Maybe we should start paying attention to politicians before the fucking presidential election. Maybe before, when's that happen? November? Maybe I should think about shit before November. Because there's no way, bro. There's 50 states. You're telling me every politician who ever runs is always going to be, man, we got to pick the lesser of two evils. Now, mind you, I'm not saying there's some perfect candidate out there. I doubt that. But to the fact where for the last 3 elections, I'm not even political, bro, I promise you. But the last 3 elections, people are like, there's just no good options. Like, what do you mean there's no good options? What do you mean? How have we gotten to the point where there's no good options? You know what I mean? But the thing is, mind you, I'm telling you, like, people should expand their brain and stuff like that. But this is never going to change. People are always going to be like this. You know why? Because there are too many people that are like that. And like I'm saying, people don't want to be original. People, if it ever got to the point where the people who think have original thoughts, who care about things and actually move throughout their life as if they care, if that number outnumbered the bots where they're like, oh, this is an interesting thought, I'm just going to repeat this. Oh, I like that this person had this thought. I liked how it sounded. I'm not really going to analyze it. I'm just going to adopt that thought for myself. Oh my gosh, I'm part of this political party. I'm going to agree with everything they say. I'm not going to think about it. Ooh, I'm this. Here's the look, bro. I'm about to get real political. I'm so sorry. Look, if you tell me you vote, Democrat or Republican, no issue. No issue. You vote for who you vote for, right? But I feel like if you tell me you're a Democrat and you agree with everything they say, and you're a Republican, you agree with everything they say, I think you're an idiot. Because I'm like, there's no way you do. Do you know how many issues there are? How many stances you can have that like are traditionally like red or blue? You're telling me you don't disagree about anything? I don't believe you. Again, you're one of these people that I'm talking about. But like I'm saying, if the people who had thoughts, who had original ideas, who wanted to add on to conversation, if those outnumbered the people who were bots, then the bots would be like, oh my gosh, okay, I have to stop being a bot. But the fact is, everyone's a bot, and no one knows they're a bot. But people at the same time, they know. People will always like tell you, they're like, man, there are so many stupid people out there. So many people, they just fall for propaganda. Which again, we all do. We all, no matter how smart you are, you fall for some form of propaganda. But they're like, yep, so many people are they're such idiots, okay? But then they don't see themselves in the circle agreeing with other idiots in the majority. It's a majority. Like you're acknowledging, you're like, okay, man, most people just stupid, bro. Like most people, they just don't get it. But you're literally the most people. You're the most people in question. Ow. It's like again, like most people by now have acknowledged most people stupid, right? And they'll still use the argument. Well, all these people agree with me. You're part of the stupid. You're part of the stupid, bro. And look, I'm not saying I'm some genius because I am not. Okay, but something I can do is think for myself. And you guys know that. And I think anyone who can't think for themselves is not the sharpest tool in the shed. But again, like this whole like cheating thing, they have this idea in their mind. Yep, this is what happened. This is everything. Oh, and then they'll just say random things like, oh man, all cheaters are miserable. Ooh, he's gay. Ooh, this. Again, they're this big giant rock of Play-Doh and they're going downhill. Nothing can stop them. No matter how much sense you have, if you're one person, you can't stop them. It's an unstoppable force. And it's like, I really hope y'all understand with this internet shit. These niggas are dumb. These are stupid people. We're dealing. These people are stupid. And it's like, I'm right there with you. Like I see it happening, bro. Like I see it. People ask me all the time. They're like, bro, like how do you not lose your mind? How do you not lose your mind? I've come to the conclusion. I know today, like it might seem like I got like, I don't know, got a little riled up. Not gonna lie. When I curse, bro, it's not because of anger. I kind of feel, I'm feeling like good. I'm feeling like comfortable. So it's like I be cursed. Anyways, not important. But people ask me, they're like, oh, how do you not lose your mind? I accepted it a long time ago that these people are dumb. So it's like I just kind of like get on the internet every day, on TikTok at least, and tell them how dumb they are. Now, here I motivate you, I tell stories, sometimes it depends. But again, all in all, this is about the discourse around cheating in general when it happens, particularly when a woman gets cheated on. Like what they do, okay? I think it's, bro, I don't know if I said this line exactly earlier, but I gotta say it so I can make this caption to the video. Bro, internet women, they love when a woman's cheated. They love when they get a chance to like stand up and be like, oh my gosh, she's so great. Okay, anyways, since I got that out the way. The reason all this cheating discourse is dumb, the reason these stupid things happen is because people don't think, and again, that's why people are having fucking awakenings at the age of 30 that, oh my gosh, I could be cheated on if I enter a relationship. Oh, it doesn't matter if I'm really pretty and smart. Oh, and like any issue that you could have on the internet, okay, it boils down to the fact that people don't think, and it's like I don't know if I can say they don't want to. They don't know how to. Okay, very bleak outlook for the end of this video, but like I'm being for real. But anyways, I gotta wrap this up. I'm a little late, not as late as yesterday, thank God. But yeah, I really like this video, I'm not gonna lie. So thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, everything I have to say. I'm so sorry, and I love you. Okay, no state of affairs today. I'm just on my shit. I'm going.